What if I told you, located along one of Detroit's most legendary interstates, lies the ultimate canvas for new urban life? A commercial artery formerly dominated by cars, transformed into a ribbon of green. By linking and unifying public spaces with nature, the redevelopment of I-375 offers Detroit the opportunity to reconnect formerly severed areas while making something brand new in the process, and spearheading the movement to reinvent the urban environment. The redevelopment of Detroit's I-375 is being federally funded by the Reconnecting Communities pilot program. This program helps to reconnect communities where highway projects of the past displaced neighborhoods in many U.S. cities. I-375 is often highlighted as a prime example of the process of urban renewal and community displacement. In the 1950s and 1960s, the construction of this interstate led to the demolition of some of Detroit's most historic neighborhoods, Black Bottom and Paradise Valley.
We know the history. Detroit's been divided by this freeway for nearly 70 years. The motivations in wiping out Paradise Valley and Black Bottom in the 50s are well known, but nobody could have imagined the pain would still last 70 years later.
But the pain did last, because Black Bottom was once a thriving center of African American business, culture, and prosperity. Residents' daily needs were amply met by more than 300 Black-owned businesses, ranging from drugstores, beauty salons, and restaurants to places of leisure such as nightclubs, bowling alleys with bars, theaters, and mini golf courses. Paradise Valley had a huge cultural impact on music. Not only were there several bars and theaters that attracted top-notch musicians, but it was also the first district to encourage Black and tan venues. Before long, a night on the town was incomplete without a stop at Paradise Valley, and Detroiters of all race and social backgrounds gathered in the spaces here. But a road project itself may not resolve a complicated history through the lens of impacted communities.
And so when they did that, they cut off so much, and it's layered, just like the conversation you've had. There's layers on top of layers on top of layers. And it's dominoes. And so you affect one, and it's a hinge, and everything kind of gets damaged.
To be sure, this reconnection is taking advantage of all the landscape potential. Let's take a closer look at the I-375 framework. At slightly over a mile in length, I-375 is located right in the heart of downtown. The existing structure is a 4-lane freeway that widens to 6 lanes. It opened in 1964, but by the early 2000s, its infrastructure was widely considered outdated and costly to maintain. Official discussions of its reconstruction began in 2013, but plans to relevel the interstate into a street-level boulevard were only decided recently. With such a long and costly road to removal, we want to be sure the new construction is a creative, forward-looking design for reconnecting the city, its people, its economy, and its infrastructure. But when we compare the existing framework to the proposed framework, does it appear to be a similar design that repeats our typical development patterns? Possibly there is another option, one that reimagines how we do things. Instead of rebuilding the entire road, what if we just rebuild parts of it and create an integrated design that links and unifies the surrounding landscape? Then we could restore nature to the city to prepare for a climate-resilient future. This is a landscape that reinvents the urban environment. Bordered with terraces, public art, gathering spaces, and native plants, it frames views of downtown Detroit for visitors and residents to rediscover season after season. The resurfaced stream gathers the flows from the city and meanders through public life, carving clearings at the edge of an urban woodland before reconnecting to the riverfront. linking non-motorized networks with hydrologic systems and history. This project improves infrastructure to transform an interstate formerly dominated by cars into a highly biodiverse urban forest. When looked at with a climate focus, this landscape addresses future climate conditions, such as increased precipitation and rising temperatures. The reinvented interstate becomes a place of year-round relaxation, designed to offer a diversity of microclimates in the heart of downtown Detroit. The design manages stormwater much more cost-effectively, while promoting ecosystems and establishing a diversified landscape conducive to soil regeneration and enrichment of biodiversity. Additionally, it offers space to reestablish and expose the historic stream system, creating a series of flood-adapted recreational and ecological rooms that transform this interstate into a vibrant greenway capable of capturing, slowing, and treating water. When looked at from a social viewpoint, the redevelopment strategies create infrastructure for building social capital, economic assets, collective experience, and active participatory stewardship. The reinvestment not only unites divided communities, but it also incentivizes other redevelopment and provides equity in transportation alternatives and access to nature. This is just the beginning. A second phase of this project could expand site connections. A pedestrian bridge could reconnect the Paradise Valley neighborhoods, or a connection to the People Mover could be developed. Removing a road may seem unlikely, but achieving climate goals will require radical changes to infrastructure and neighborhoods. By creating a two-way dialogue, we can activate a process of creative collaboration and build a new process of urban cultural engagement. This is a design that I've imagined, but what is your vision for a better future? And how will you make your ideas known? The Reinventing of I-375, a project by Shannon Clancy, a third-year MLA student at the University of Michigan.
This is the beginning of more. I see this can branch off into so much more.